The World of Warcraft Community Council, the thing that will finally make Blizzard listen to feedback and fix everything in the game and actually listen to their community. Or will it? Let's take a look at it. Let's talk about the WoW Community Council, what it is, and the positives and the negatives of the WoW Community Council, and pretty much everything around it, as I think this is just another way for Blizzard to try to repair some of their image and try to signal flare to people that they are listening to the community, while still blatantly ignoring the feedback. So let's dive into it. What is the World of Warcraft Community Council? So dating back about a month now, they introduced the World of Warcraft Community Council. I will read through the entire announcement of the council itself, and this is something you could have signed up for. So basically you sign up for the council, and then Blizzard will choose a select few people to join the council itself. I don't know exactly how many people will be on there, but it's a small percentage of the people that actually applied for it. Before we move on with the video, I want to mention that I'm now affiliated with ExpressVPN, and if you haven't gotten a VPN yet, I highly recommend getting one, and ExpressVPN is the best one that I can recommend. With the dangers of the internet being at an all-time high and also content being restricted, VPNs are becoming more relevant than ever. As for security, ExpressVPN protects you from hackers who try to steal your private information. Every time you connect to an unencrypted Wi-Fi network at airports, hotels, coffee shops, or even at home, you are at risk. A hacker connected to the same unencrypted Wi-Fi network can steal your private information, and using his hacking knowledge, that hacker could also gain access to your passwords, financial details, or even your emails. ExpressVPN encrypts your internet connection using the highest standards of encryption currently available. It would take a hacker with a supercomputer billions of years to crack. ExpressVPN also protects you from spies who use your data for their own nefarious purposes. Your internet service provider, or ISP, can see everything you do, and in the United States, ISPs, or internet service providers, can legally sell your data to ad companies. In the UK and Australia, internet service providers are required to keep logs of the websites you visit, the apps you use, and the private conversations that you have for 1 to 2 years. Also, government, large corporations, there we go, and websites constantly surveil you and harvest your data for their own agendas. ExpressVPN puts a stop to that by encrypting all of your data and hiding your location. ExpressVPN also gives you unrestricted access to all parts of the internet, so it helps you unblock content that is region restricted or otherwise just blocked. So for example, both Netflix and YouTube restrict certain types of content in certain regions or countries, so using ExpressVPN you can get yourself around that restriction. So if you're not using a VPN just yet, I highly recommend checking out ExpressVPN. The link will be down below in the video description and the pinned comment. So go to expressvpn.com/solheimtv and get a massive deal. So this is their actual announcement post on their website. Greetings, citizens of Azeroth. The World of Warcraft community is second to none with the passion, love and excitement that you all show for the game. Player feedback impacts all aspects of the game itself, and with such a huge range of opinions, playstyles and interests out there, gathering and understanding feedback is more important than ever. It's actually always been, but I'm glad you actually realize it as well. To help further our efforts in this area, we are introducing the WoW Community Council. This program will add another venue for communication between players and WoW developers. Our goal is to gather more detailed feedback on all aspects of World of Warcraft from players around the world with a wide range of backgrounds and interests. Here's how it works. Submissions are open to any player interested in taking part in the program. Once players are selected for the Community Council, they will be given the ability to post in a new discussion forum that is publicly visible to everyone. In this new forum, we will ask members to share their experiences and perspectives on anything in the game, and some topics may be started by Blizzard developers and community managers. Responses and updates from Blizzard will be posted there so they can easily be discussed by the entire community. A private discussion will also be set up for council members to encourage direct interaction between members. Separate conversation between smaller groups of members and Blizzard developers will also be encouraged to ensure players with differing perspectives are being heard. These may take the form of live chats between council members and WoW devs. One of the key goals with this program is to encourage discussion with players from a wide variety of different playstyles. To help ensure this, part of the application process will involve sharing your areas of interest and expertise. Whether this is cutting-edge raiding, playing alts, completing achievements, accessibility, or collecting transmog, we want to know your perspective and ensure that you are heard. Therefore, after 1 year in the program, we plan to unflag council members and open the application again. All WoW players will be free to apply at that point. So based on this information right here, we know that Blizzard are looking for people from various actual locations or playstyles within the game itself. So they're looking for gold makers, they're looking for raiders, PvPers, transmog collectors, mount collectors, alt levelers, and pretty much anything you can imagine within the game itself. They're looking for different people that play the game in different ways so they can get the most accurate feedback on every aspect of the game itself. That being said, like whenever you sign up for this, you have to tell them which parts of the game you are most interested in, as well as tell them your background. So if you have like cutting edge raiding, you will have to tell them that as well. So your raiding experience, PvP experience, basically tell them your achievements within the game itself. And then they actually choose a member or several members, so a small portion of the people that actually sign up. That being said though, how does the actual selection of the members work? Is it all RNG? Do they have like, let's select 10 people from raiding, 10 people from PvP, 10 people from mount collecting, and so on? Do we have any actual stats on what kind of people they're choosing, and which versions of, or which gameplays or game styles they put the most emphasis on? Do we have any stats on that, or do they just weigh everything equally? Because I do think there's a lot more raiders in the game than there is, for example, transmog collectors or mount collectors and so on. So I kind of want some stats on that. But also, how do they know that the quality of the people that they are choosing for the WoW Council is as high as it can be? How are these people the most qualified within their category to actually represent the community of that category, whether that is goldmaking, raiding, PvPing, mount collecting, whatever it is? Why are these the people that represent them the best? I know that you are supposed to state your experience and what you're interested in the game, but I still feel like it's a very RNG. Well, it's very RNG who's getting actually chosen for the council and who's on it right now. I mean, who you choose to have on the council will affect the quality of the council itself by a lot, so Blizzard, you have to choose the right people for the job here, and I wonder, are you doing this by RNG, so you're just choosing some names, or do you actually do some background checks? We already have some drama coming out regarding the community council, and a member on the council itself. There's a lot of drama surrounding that right now, which kind of points towards the fact that they aren't doing too many background checks on the council members. Basically, one council member made a Discord server where people could chat with him and other people on the council in real time, and he made some very stupid comments on that Discord server. I'm not going to get into it too much, but there's a lot of news articles online covering this. It's all over Twitter, so you can just check that out if you want to get more into the drama itself. But basically, this guy got banned on the WoW forums very quickly after this drama happened. So basically, after a week of being on the council, he is now permanently banned on the official WoW forums. So if you just read through his posts of being permabanned, we can see that this is someone who doesn't really care about the council at all, and also, by definition, he doesn't care for the state of the game, the health of the game, or anything else, because he took his job on the council to be a complete joke. Honestly, the reason could have been many different things. The invitation email I got for the council already reserved the right for Blizzard to not have to explain stuff, So yeah, poor Lenny Broken on WoW forums, I'm unsubbing right now. This guy had it coming though. You're on the council, you have to behave yourself and act in that way. I made no secret of the fact that I don't have a whole lot of trust in the program, then why sign up? And honestly, I didn't care too much going into it, then once again, why sign up? Was a fun ride the last week thanks to all the people, blah blah blah. Basically, he didn't care at all about the council, still signed up, he got the job and still didn't care. So this is where I'm going to get into the meat and bones of this video, and that is basically like, why are they doing this? They already have access to all of the feedback they would ever need. We have PTR forums, we have Reddit where people can upvote, like both on the forums and on Reddit. People can upvote to show if they actually share the opinions, and during PTR stages, a lot of things are posted both on the forums and on Reddit that Blizzard can easily get access to and check out what people want for their game. They don't need one person to be a flag banner or like a flag carrier. I don't really know, but like they don't need one forefront person to tell them what the community wants, because what the community wants is already obvious. There's so many people making YouTube videos, you can check out the comments of those YouTube videos as well. You have access to the feedback. It's all up to you if you choose to listen to it. If you go back to BFA, we actually have a meme regarding BFA that I'll pull up right now as well. Actually, it's not just a BFA or a Shadowlands meme, it's a meme that kind of is relevant to every single expansion for WoW, and that is that they will announce the next expansion, and they will promise to listen to feedback. They will then, or players will then give constructive feedback about core systems during the PTR. Blizzard will then disagree and promise to balance everything out perfectly down the line, and then in X.1 or the first major patch of the actual expansion, they will adjust things according to popular demand. In the next big content patch, which is X.2, so 9.2 or 8.2, they will start adjusting it based on feedback that was initially provided during alpha. In the last patch, they will fix the expansion, but then it's already too late and they will announce the next expansion and promise to listen to feedback once again, and the loop will repeat itself. We saw this happen in BFA, we saw this happen again with Shadowlands as well, and it seems to be a never-ending loop. We saw this happen in BFA with the Azerite armor that people constantly told them to either rework the armor itself or just don't launch the armor, because it would be terrible and people would dislike it overall, and that is what ended up happening as well. There were so many issues with it, but instead of listening to the feedback, they pretty much ignored it, either because they didn't want to change it, or because they were too lazy, didn't have enough time or something like that. Either way, they chose to not listen to the feedback and go ahead with their own choices instead, and they did the same for Shadowlands as well, based on the impact of your choice when it comes to your covenant, which they have gone back on later on, because, well, people want to have the freedom to choose what they want, and they want to have the freedom to swap back and forth. We shouldn't have this one very impactful choice, even though that sounds fun in theory. It's not really that fun to be restricted when it comes to a MMORPG. You want to have the freedom to try out everything on one character, so they have to start listening to the feedback at some point. I think it's also because whenever they make a decision for their game, so whenever they are making something in the actual development process, your choices have a sentimental value, and they might end up loving BFA, like they might love the Azerite armor, and then we tell them it's bad. Then they might have this internal desire to prove us wrong, so they completely disregard our feedback, they go ahead and launch it anyway, and they try their best to rework it over and over again until we end up loving it. It doesn't happen, but they try, and they have this sentimental value that they just have to go through with their own choice and make us, or try to make us, like their choice. If we go back and rewatch Preach's video as well on why he quit WoW, a huge portion of that video was dedicated to the fact that Blizzard don't listen to feedback, so this is something we keep coming back to. It's not the fact that they don't have feedback to listen to, it's that they have the feedback available, they just choose to ignore it. Even if we push it in their face and they read the feedback, they still blatantly ignore it. So I don't really have any faith that the WoW Community Council will be any different different, and if I go onto the WoW Community Council right now, there's about 50 to 60 different posts from the council members, and Blizzard have responded to 5 of them. So sure, they are responding to some of them, but they're being very selective about which ones they do respond to, and it makes me a bit pissed off that they're not just choosing to respond to all of them, or as many as possible. Just something like this is an excellent choice, or like this is a good solution, or a good suggestion, and we'll look into it, or just having an active discussion with those people that we can look at so we know that they're having these discussions. They did say they could have internal discussions, but at that point, how do we know? How do we know if they're actually listening to anything? I also ask myself once again, like, what makes these people, the ones that are on the community council, what makes them the best representatives for the community itself? It seems to be a random choice of who is on the council itself. They picked at random, it seems, based on some actual things, so they had some experience, or you put in your experience, and which parts of the game that you focus on, and then they just chose at random from there. Either way, this is a way longer video than I wanted it to be, but basically I wanted to rant about the community council, and the fact that I don't think anything will be changing. I don't think Blizzard will listen to too much feedback, even though they really should, and I hope they will. I don't think they will, and I keep coming back to the fact that they do already have access to the feedback. It's all up to them if they want to actually apply the feedback or ignore it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, the Solheim rant. If you made it this far in the video, then comment something with Solheim rant down below and let me know what you think on the community council. That is pretty much it though. Subscribe for more World of Warcraft coverage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.